Hello YouTube and welcome to Musicology for the People. So last Sunday was the Super Bowl. Yay sports! And this year was actually a great year for classical music at the game. There was, of course, the amazingly beautiful Renee Fleming singing the national anthem. Her performance was super controversial because they had never hired an opera singer to perform at the Super Bowl before. People had a mix of reactions. My favorite was that people were expecting her to sing longer than any other person ever hired before because opera singers like to hear their voices. This cracked me up because, what, do pop and rock singers not enjoy the sound of their own voice? In actuality, her performance was one of the shortest ever, coming in at just over the 2-minute mark. This effectively destroyed a couple betting pools that I knew about. Some people thought it was the best rendition of the Star-Spangled Banner ever. Some others thought that it just wasn't the right type of voice for this venue. Well, I mean, everyone's entitled to their opinion, I suppose. But as lovely as Diva Renee is, my favorite classical music moment of the Super Bowl came surprisingly during a commercial. Kia Motors aired a hilarious commercial with Laurence Fishburne reviving his role as Morpheus from The Matrix. If you haven't seen it, you can click on it right up here. Basically, in this commercial, he plays a valet attendant, and a couple comes back from wherever they were and try and get their keys back. But instead, he offers them two sets, a set with blue tags and a set with red tags. The blue keys, of course, would take them back to their original car and their perception of luxury, and the red tags would challenge their perception of luxury. The couple obviously chooses the red keys and they get into a beautiful new luxurious Kia. And then Morpheus appears again, this time in the back seat, and he describes what luxury looks like, what luxury feels like, and then he said that this is what luxury sounds like. At which point, he pulls out a pitch pipe and begins to sing Nessun Dorma. It's a very recognizable tune, first really becoming popular in television and sports in 1990, I think, when the 1972 recording of Luciano Pavarotti singing Nessun Dorma was played at the FIFA World Cup in Italy. After its use at the World Cup, it shot up to #2 in the UK singles charts and has been a popular sporting anthem ever since. It has also been used in a variety of films, such as The Killing Fields, a dramatic British drama from 1984 about the Khmer Rouge regime in Cambodia, The Sum of All Fears, a political drama from 2002 based on a Tom Clancy novel starring Ben Affleck and Morgan Freeman, Bend It Like Beckham, a classic British film from the same year about a young girl who desperately wants to play soccer/football, but faces opposition from her traditional Sikh family, and Chasing Liberty, a 2004 film where Mandy Moore plays the daughter of the American president running off around Europe. This aria, Nessun Dorma, comes from an opera that has nothing to do with the plot of most of these films, and certainly not a Kia motor vehicle. It comes from the opera Turandot by Giacomo Puccini. Turandot is a beautiful princess with serious commitment issues. She devises 3 riddles that any of her suitors must answer correctly or face being beheaded. Many princes before have died from being beheaded for this challenge, but for some unknown reason, a prince named Caliph falls madly in love with Turandot at first sight and decides to take the challenge. Incredibly, he answers all of these riddles correctly. Unfortunately, that cold princess still does not want to marry him. Caliph, instead of just taking his prize and being done with the whole matter, decides to offer her one more chance. If she can correctly name him by dawn, then she doesn't have to marry him and he can still be put to death. But if she doesn't guess it correctly, then he still gets to marry her. The princess agrees and then orders that all of her subjects remain awake all night until they find out the name of this mysterious prince. She further says that if the dawn comes and none of her subjects have managed to find out what his name is, she's just going to kill them all. Wow, right? Just wow. Not the kind of ruler I would choose, but you know, No one's asking my opinion. After Caliph hears this decree, he answers with the aria Nessun Dorma. Nessun Dorma, by the way, means none shall sleep. Basically, in this aria, he's singing about his love for her, and he's calling for the dawn to come as quickly as possible so that it can all be over with and he can just marry her already. It's a very moving piece, and it has some killer high notes that are sustained for far longer than Puccini originally dictated they should be. But back to Morpheus. Even though this car commercial has nothing to do with a homicidal princess, the use of Nessun Dorma still kinda works. While the text and situation in general are a bit off, I actually find it incredibly ironic that Morpheus would sing this piece. Morpheus, after all, is named after the character from Ovid's Metamorphosis, who is a god of dreams. From the Middle Ages and forward, Morpheus became synonymous with a god of dreams and sleep. So perhaps Nessun Dorma fits his character pretty well. Of course, I never pictured the aria to be accompanied with explosions, bending spoons, and general cacophony, but hey, it's the Super Bowl, what else can you expect? I think this commercial did a great job in introducing this classic aria to the people, and for that, Musicology for the People gives this commercial its stamp of approval. Not that that means anything. Links to the commercial, other great performances of this piece, and even Renee Fleming's national anthem are listed below in the description thingy. Until next week, get some sleep, guys. Musicology.